Alright, so in case you wanted a little extra practice or needed a little extra practice, here are the other problems that I said you could skip. So, triangle JIM, triangle gym. So, we're going to need to find the lengths of all three sides, so it's going to be J to I to M, and J to M. So we're going to find JI, IM, and JM. And you know that distance formula, you're going to have the format of square root of something squared plus something else squared. So I'm just going to get that all lined out for myself. Alright, so then looking at our points here. So from J to I, you can figure out to get from -1 to 4, that would have to be 5 that you'd have to move, or again, subtract. 4 minus -1, that's 5. And then going from 3 to 8, you'd have to move 5, so that's also 5. Or again, subtract. 8 minus 3, hey, that's 5. Great. So then, and actually I'll do all these at once. So then from 4 to 8, that's going to be a distance of 4, or again, subtract 8 minus 4 is 4. And then from 8 to -10 is going to be a distance of 18. Because you have to go 8 to get back to 0, 10 more to get all the way to -10. So, or you could do 8 minus -10, minus negative is plus, so that's 18. So that's going to be quite big. And then JM is from J to M. So -1 to 8 is going to end up being a distance of 9, or you could do -1 minus 8 would give you -9, but it'll be positive after we square it anyway. And then 3 to -10, again, is going to be 13, because you've got to go all the way past 0. Or you could do 3 minus -10, that's 13. Alright then, so we start simplifying all this good stuff, so that would be 25 plus 25, so JI is going to be square root 50, and then IM, 4 squared is 16, 18 squared ends up giving us 324, so then that side is going to be square root of 340, and then 9 squared, or -9 squared, same thing, it's going to be 81, 13 squared is 169, so add those together, and that is square root of 250. So now we've got all three of our sides. So we are supposed to classify this. So if I look, none of those are the same. So triangle gym is scalene. All sides are different, or no equal sides, something like that. Alrighty, now we gotta find perimeter. So perimeter, just add them all together. Square root 50 plus square root 340 plus square root 250. And if you round, you probably will end up getting the same answer as just doing it all exact and rounding at the end, but safer to do it all exact and round at the end. So then you should end up getting about 41.32. So remember that if you were doing it in your calculator, so if you didn't get this, but you know you put it in your calculator, make sure that if yours is creating parentheses, that you are closing the parentheses at the end of your shape. Or if it was like my other calculator, where it's kind of still in the square root, you have to go over arrow to get outside of the square root. So you're just going to have to be careful with how you're putting it in your calculator. And some will know what you're doing, and you won't have to do that, but yeah, make sure that you get the right thing there. All right, so that is number 3. Skipping on ahead to number 5. All right, so we're going to have to find perimeter and area here. So for perimeter, we're going to need to find the length of all three sides. So for AB, that bottom blue one, it's going to be square root of squared plus something squared. So again, subtract or count. 1 to 2, excuse me, 1 to 3, sorry, is going to be 2. So it's 2 squared. And then 2 to -1 is a distance of 3, so that's 3 squared. So it's going to be 4 plus 9, which is square root of 13. All right then. Then we gotta find the other one. So I'm gonna go AC next. So square root of, then again, you can count if you have the graph, or you can just look between the points. So to get from 1 to 7, that should be a distance of 6, and we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing on the graph. And then looking at the y values, 2 to 6 should be a distance of 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6 minus 2 should be 4. So all kinds of ways to get there. So that would be 36 plus 16, which is square root 52. Then last side, which we need for perimeter, not for area, but if we're finding perimeter, we do need this one, is going to be BC. So that's equal to square root of, and then again, count or subtract. So B to C, 7 to 3, 7 minus 3 is 4, or if you're to count horizontally, that goes 4 units over. And negative 1 to 6 should be 7, but again, you could subtract 6 minus negative 1, or negative 1 minus 6, whatever. So 4 squared is 16, 7 squared is 49, so this side is square root of 65. So then perimeter of this shape is going to be square root 13 plus square root 52 plus square root 65, which is going to be about 18.88. So you get something more like 18.8789, but if we're rounding to 2 decimal places, then 18.88. If you're finding the area of this one, you are multiplying the base times the height. So again, those are the ones perpendicular to each other. So that's going to be square root 13 is AB, so that was this one, square root 13. And then this one here, AC, was square root 52. So you do square root 13 times square root 52, and then you were going to divide that by 2. Whoops. And this is another really lovely one that, if you don't use rounded answers, gives you a nice exact answer. So root 13 times root 52 actually ends up being exactly 26. Then you can divide it by 2, and you get 13. So 13 square units, or units squared, or just don't write the units, that's fine. But that would be our area for that one. All right, then real fast, number 6. So we already found AC is 6, so then we need to find AB and BC. All right, so from A to B, 2 to 5 would be distance of 3, or you can count, that's 3 over. And then 3 to 8 should be a distance of 5, or you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can subtract 8 minus 3 is 5. So that's going to be 9 plus 25, which is square root of 34. Then BC, root. So you can count pretty well, or you can see it's going to be the same thing. So 5 to 8 is 3 again, and 8 to 3 is also 5 again, so 9 plus 25, still in the square root, is square root 34. So if we were classifying this, think about what that would be. It doesn't tell us to on this problem, but we very well could. Now we can find perimeter by adding them all together. So it's going to be 6 plus root 34 plus square root 34. And that ends up being equal to, or I guess I should say approximately, 17.66. Area for this one is a little bit different, but still kind of nice. So for the area, we take 1/2 of the base times the height. So base here is 6, and height perpendicular to it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice, convenient thing here. So 6 times 5 divided by 2, 30 divided by 2. So the area of this one is going to be 15 square units, or 15 units squared.